What are some of the things that I do in the morning on the weekend to get ready? One of the first things I do is I come in and I use my Thayer's Hydrating Milky Toner. It's kind of this viscous solution. It is wonderful. It has snow mushroom and hyaluronic acid in it. If you haven't seen my morning face routine, I will link it below. But I do use this in the morning because at night, I use the May Love Night Serum. Sometimes I use their glycolic acid lotion. I use Retin-A. So in the morning before I do my makeup, I want to come in and make sure that all of that is off of my face so that I can come in and just start with a fresh palette, my face. And sometimes what I will do is I will not only use this, but I will go in and use my ordinary squalene cleanser. But since we're on camera, I'm just gonna do this. I did my face shaving routine. If you haven't seen that, I will link that also below. But what I do is once a weekend, I will take this and I will come in and I will just gently face shave by moving this blade. It's not too sharp, but you want to be careful to go slow because you can like do a razor burn. But I just gently go down my cheeks and I go down my neck, above my lip, between the brows, and then right in here under my brows. It does a few things. It really prepares my skin for, the moisturizer and the serums and all the things that I'm trying to have my skin absorb and use to the fullest potential. And it gives my skin a really smooth texture. It helps maybe shed any skin cells that I'm not able to shed on my own because of my age. I'm maybe turning over cells slower. When I do put makeup on after using this face shaver, my makeup looks like it's just part of my skin, I think. So I'm gonna go ahead and put my hair back, let's see, just to get that off my face. We'll see how long this headband lasts. It might pinch me too much. One of the first things I do in the morning is I start with my City Beauty Invisicrate Body Balm. You can watch in the video. I will put it on my neck and in about 3 minutes, you're going to see a difference. I notice that when I don't use it, you can really see a difference. As you can tell, it's almost empty. This is my second container. I think they last a good 6 months. And I do have a code down below if you're interested. I recommend this. And I truly do believe that in addition to devices which can come and go, this is such an easy thing to put on your skin that really does help reduce that crepiness. So I do this. The other thing I do while I'm getting ready in the morning, I will either use my City Lips or this, it's actually the City Lips Night Oil. And since I've been sick, I just put it on my finger so that I'm not infecting it. And I put that on my lips. I'll tell you the thing about this lip oil that's very different than other lip oils, it stays. Even though it might cost a little more, it does last. I wake up in the morning and I can still feel it, and it kind of gives your lips a nice plumpy feel. I'm gonna have to change hair situations here because that is pinching me. All right, so that's that. I will use a little bit of fragrance just to elevate my mood. This morning I'm using the Jo Malone Starlit Mandarin and Honey. I actually had to buy this on eBay because you can't find it anywhere. And it's so good. It is so good. I'm usually wearing my Clinique Cocoa and Cashmere or Cashmere and Cocoa or whatever it is. But for whatever reason, sometimes I'll gravitate toward this on the weekend. It's a little bit stronger, and so I don't want to smell too strong at the office, but I do enjoy this, and it just is got so much life in it. It just makes you feel so serene. As you can tell, I have a whole thing. Okay, this isn't gonna work. I think the reason my daughter left this is because it's broken. It is, it's broken. All right, so I will be right back. I'm gonna go get something to put my hair up. Okay, so I'm back. We are now moving on to skin prep. So we've done all the things that just get me to the place of getting ready. I usually use my May Love Glow Maker, and I ran out. I guess that's the only thing about vitamin C serums is since the bottle is dark to preserve the integrity of the vitamin C, I sometimes don't realize that I'm almost out. It says it's being delivered today, but it won't be here for today's video, but it is definitely something I use. In place of that, what I have been using is this Paula's Choice 2% BHA liquid exfoliant. And I'll just put a little bit on my hands and then I will just press that in. It feels smooth. It's not drying. I don't think there's any alcohol in it. It feels very slippy. It gives my skin a little bit of a shine. And the other thing I've been doing is I always like to do what I'm doing on my face on my hands, unless it's makeup, primer, or something like that. I don't know if you've heard of the Korean 5 skin. It's when they take something and it's usually a toner and they'll do several layers of it and they'll slap it on their skin, and it's supposed to help with skin absorption and bringing life to your skin, and there's many benefits to it. I find that I've been using this and I'll go in like a couple, 2 or 3 times with it. I'm just seeing what that's about. And I do like it. It is kind of a sticky feel once I'm done, but I do think it's making a difference in my skin. So even though I haven't had the May Love Glow Maker or the benefits of vitamin C, I have been using this and I do recommend it. I do believe that I am seeing my skin texture improve. So for what it's worth. So once I do that, I will come in and I will use just a little bit of my Clinique. In the morning, I just use one. I think it's $40 for this ginormous, I get the biggest one there is. It makes my skin so plumpy. When I put it on in the morning and at night, and I wake up, my skin feels so soft. It feels like a young person's skin. It feels like my skin used to feel. And you don't know it doesn't feel that way until you use this, and then you feel it and you're like, oh man, I used to feel that way. So I use one pump in the morning. Gives my skin the hydration it needs, and I like the way it feels plump. At night, I use about 3 pumps of this stuff. It is really good. I wake up in the morning and I still feel it on my cheeks. And that is something that even when I was using the CeraVe and I was also doing the slugging with a little layer of petroleum jelly, the petrolatum, I would wake up and I did not feel that. My skin felt soft, but nothing like it does when I use this. And it feels spongy, plumpy. I don't know how, cushiony. There's bounce. So if you have not tried this, it's worth trying. If you try it, let me know what you think. It is my new holy grail. Next on our list is my Dermatology. This is a tinted moisturizer serum sunscreen with 46 SPF. So I take 4 pumps. It's supposed to be 1/4 teaspoon. I've heard of the 3-finger method. I know that that's 1/4 teaspoon because I've been doing this long enough. So I just use the 4 pumps or so. And then I just begin applying this to my face. I don't rub too aggressively. I just go in with a nice even approach. It looks the best, huh? The thing I do love about this is it is a moisturizer. So that's why I only use the 1 pump of the Clinique. Go all the way up to your hairline. I put it on my ears and I put it behind my ears. And I don't know if you can see it, but as I put it on, it does give a nice, natural skin finish. And on the weekends, this is all I'm gonna use. And then I take the rest and I put it on the backs of my hands. It's not the quantity that I need on my hands, which is why I use the body sunscreen for that. I make sure to spray myself before I even get in the vehicle, or like right now, I'm in front of a window and I sprayed it over, and I had sprayed it before I came in here. All right, so that's that step. It has kind of a shiny, dewy finish. I do want to share with you a product that I purchased. When I do use it, I see the most tremendous difference in the longevity of my makeup. This is the Bobbi Brown Vitamin Enriched Face Base. So I learned about this product through Amanda Z. When I find something that I wouldn't have found otherwise, I always want to attribute that discovery to the person who shared it. Being someone here on YouTube, it's not easy to grow. And so when someone is putting in the effort and reviewing something, and I learn something and I try it and I love it, I certainly want to give credit where credit is due. So thank you, Amanda Z, for this recommendation. I have been using it now for a year, maybe 18 months. It's since I started my channel and started paying more attention to the products that people were recommending. And I say that because I do think it's important. All right, let's jump into this. I'm using my pharmacy spatula because it does come like this, and I just don't want to put my finger in there. And I take just a very little bit. Spread that on my fingers. I will go in with this. The scent is so nice. It's lemon, I think. but it's not acidic, it's not harsh, it does not burn your skin. So I go in with it everywhere, on my eyelids, all around my mouth, everywhere. It doesn't have a lot of a silicone feel. You can feel it is smoothing over your skin. When I use this, I can tell the difference within a couple of hours. This makes a tremendous difference. So now that I've done that, we can go ahead and go in and start putting the foundation on the face. This is another find from Amanda Z. This is the Synchro Skin Radiant Lifting Foundation, and I have it in the color Porcelain. The other good thing about this is it does have broad spectrum SPF 30 in it. I wouldn't rely on this completely, but I love that it has sunscreen in it. It's a Shiseido product. So I just take, one little drop, and then I just kind of put that on my face. And I know that most people use a brush, but it's kind of hard for me to do on camera. So I'm just going to kind of come over it with my fingers, and then I will pounce it with a sponge, which I do have right here with me. Usually I do apply foundation with my fingers. So it does look a little light, but I'm not worried about it because I'm going to come in with a little bit of bronzer, and I'm going to come in with my color, and I'm going to do all the things. Some people are really good at matching foundation. I just kind of find something in the range that I think is going to work. I can tell that it's a little light because between my neck and my face, but just to make sure that I have it pressed in, which is one of the things I do to kind of give me that skin looking finish. I don't want anything sitting on top of my skin. The next thing I'm going to do is I am going to use a little bit of the It Bye Bye Concealer. I put it on the palm of my hand and I just rub it around a little bit like that. I don't put it on the back of my hand because it absorbs it. And then I have to go wash the back of my hand, and I don't want to wash the back of my hand because I forgot to show you this, but this is this restoring hand treatment that I love from City Beauty. I will take this and put this on the backs of my hands like this. And then what I don't want to do is wash the backs of my hands because I want this to stay there. And when you use this, your skin feels velvety and young again. And then I will take this tiny sponge, and I am going to look off camera right here into my mirror so that I can use it. I just lightly come to the edge of it and get a very little bit, and I don't go right under the eye. I just kind of go in the area right below it, and then I will take it into the corner, and then from what's there, that is what I will press across the eye. I have these little wrinkles under my eye. I don't want to put too much product there, so by starting down here and then pressing it in like this and working around it, it prevents me from going in with too much product. I go into that kind of tear trough area and just pounce this tiny little sponge. I love this so much, and I get them on Amazon, just a little pack of them, and they're wonderful. So that's the difference between the two eyes, if you can see that. And then again, I start on the outer edge, come under, and then I start working it in above. And then I'll use some of this on the lid. And I'm not as worried about putting a lot of product on the lid because I'm going to set that down with powder. And I also bring it right here, right around the nose area. So I'm just using the tiniest little bit here to go around my nose. I'm looking out the window and I see a mom and her two daughters, and their bikes have a little baby carrier, and so they have their little baby doll in it. And I've lived here for, almost 20 years now. So I raised my children in this house. And I remember that being me. And it's such a wonderful thing. I love my little neighborhood, and my children loved growing up in this little area that I bought when I got divorced and bought my own home all by myself and started over. And it has just been a wonderful home. So anyway, just wanted to share with you. Sometimes I'll peek up and I'm looking, and that's because I'm facing the front of my street. And sometimes I'll just see something and just peek up. So I just wanted to share what I saw. So cute. All right, so I think we're good. I mean, it's not going to erase everything, but it is going to do what I need it to do. Now that I've done that part, I'm going to go in here, and I have the It brush set, Heavenly Luxe brush set. And I like this brush in particular because I can take it and tap it into my powder and just place it and press as I use this brush. So I usually have the little e.l.f. compact, but I dropped it on a recent travel. So this is all I have left. I have to replenish that, but I do like that e.l.f. translucent powder. it really works well. So this is the HD powder and it's loose, so I'm gonna use that today. I'm just gonna put, it has the little sifter in it. I'm just gonna pour a little bit into the lid. And then before I do anything, I'm gonna take my, because you can see what happens is it does start creasing in the eyes. So I'm gonna do one eye at a time and I'm gonna press it in like this. I'm gonna take a little bit and I'm gonna press it and get off the excess. And then I'm just gonna go in and press right here, starting in the corner. And I'm gonna do these upper eyelids first. And I'll do one eye so that you can see. And I actually go up on the brow as well because I am going to fill in my brows and I don't want them to be wet from the sunscreen or the primer or the corrector. So I just do that, you know, until I feel that it can move very smoothly across it. Again, I don't want it to be sticky or tacky when I'm putting on eyeshadow. So then the next thing I do, and you can see it's already creasing underneath, I'm going to be very careful to get those creases out. And this is the most important part because I don't want those creases to set. And then I'm not going to dip this back in. I'm just going to begin pressing that right under the eye, as close as you can get. It's kind of hard to do this because I'm looking at you. All right, so that is one eye, and I'm gonna go ahead and speed through the other eye. So I think that gets the eyes. I'm going to take a little bit of this setting powder, and again, I'm using the Heavenly Luxe brush, and I'm going to just put a little bit on this very big fluffy brush. Just press it on my skin, just ever so lightly press it. And what this is doing is it's just setting that foundation. I'm just doing a little bit of it. This will do a good job with the face base and the foundation of getting the canvas of the face ready to go in with some products. And when I'm doing this in the morning, it really does go very quickly. I can do makeup in 15 minutes and get out the door. I'm just talking and having fun. And so I hope you enjoy this. If you do enjoy this, please take a moment and subscribe. I really love being here, and I just so appreciate you being here too. All right, so I think that gets us ready. Here's where things start to change. What I do after I kind of prep the face is I've been coming in with this I have two setting sprays. I use the Morphe Setting Mist. It's a continuous mist, and it is so fine, and it really does give a finish of kind of a melty, real skin, radiant look. Love this. But what I've started doing is I've started adding this in as I am doing my makeup. It's a pump, it's not a spray. If you can't press a pump, you can just use something like this. I go in at this point and I spray this to set what I just did. I don't think there's any alcohol in this, and I actually prefer this to I can't remember what it is, the all-nighter that so many people use, and I've tried it. I don't really know if it's worth it, like this one. For the purpose that I'm using it, this does really well. When I put foundation on and all the products that I'm putting on, my skin can just feel a little sticky. I like to go in and use this just to kind of take that away so that it feels silky when I'm putting on my makeup and it doesn't skip or drag. The next product I use is another e.l.f. product. I find that e.l.f. has amazing products and they're so inexpensive. You know, some of these are drugstore finds, some of these are higher end items. You can buy these things at Ulta. I don't really know what means drugstore or not anymore because everything's available, it seems like, at Amazon. This is also available at Amazon. So this is what they call their Luminous Putty Bronzer. So I used my e.l.f. bronzer kind of as a bronzer, a contour bronzer. So I do warm up the face and then I use it to kind of define this area so that it's got a little bit of lift. I bought this from e.l.f. and I also brought their little brush, and these are so affordable. It just comes in this little pot. It's not a liquid, and I just take my brush and swirl it. You know, that just gets it into the bristles. And then I place it right at the top. You can kind of see at the top of my ear right here. And then I just press it in and I start circling upward. You're just going to kind of make little circles. I want to be careful not to go too low. I want to use this to create an upward kind of look. I want to give dimension to my face. That's what I'm trying to say. And then I just kind of blend it into this hair area. Come too low. I will then use the side of my sponge to carve that out again when I have powder. I'm not as worried about that when I'm at this stage. I'm just kind of placing the products. So then I'll go and I'll do the other side. Again, I kind of find that point right here at the tip of the ear, and then I'll come down and just kind of start smoothing it up from that area. The goal is for me to kind of mark where I want to go and then to go above it. I like this color. I think it's good. Then the other thing, as you can see, is I'm going right up here. If you have any hair recession, or it's just a nice place to bronze because that's where the sun hits. And I also put blush there. But this just kind of warms up the perimeter. And so I will put it kind of where it needs to go. And then I will just start swirling it. And then the next place, I'm going to be very careful with it. But I'm just going to kind of go, I'm not going too much under, I'm going kind of right on top of that. So it's just a little bit of a shadow, not too much. Same thing here, just kind of go right on the side, just slightly under. So it just, and then on the side of the nose, just to give it some definition. I think this is how people use contour, put a little bit right here. Give it a perky look. You can shape your nose by using contour, like on the tip. I don't know if you can see the difference. Everything just is very subtle. I just want to make sure that I'm blending it so that it doesn't look too dark. Just swirling it around to give it a natural look. So that is my e.l.f. bronzer, contour, bronzer. Next is blush. This is the Urban Decay Hydromaniac. I just put a little bit here because, again, I don't want to wash the back of my hand because I have this on it. I use this brush from e.l.f. and it's called their Putty Blush Brush. And I really like it. The bristles are synthetic, so they just do a really good job of applying blush. Just take a little bit from the corner. I start right on the outside corner of my eye and I put it there, and then I just start swirling it up. And then I come in just a little bit here because I personally like the look of almost like a slight sunburn. It's more than a flush. It's more of a, I was out in the sun, or I was doing yard work or whatever. I was exerting myself outside and I got kind of that overheated look. That's the look I like. I take it over here and do the same thing. I start high right under the eye, and I don't really swirl it when I start. I just kind of press it. I'm pressing it into the skin. That way it sits less on top and more into it. And then again, I'll come right here, just a little bit of a where the sun would hit, and then I go up in the area right here where I went with the bronzer. I definitely want the emphasis to be here, although I do like to go low enough that it looks like when you get overheated. I love people when their cheeks get real flushed looking, like it's cold outside, and it's so natural to me. I mean, blush doesn't have to be just right here on the apples of your cheeks or up here. I just like looking healthy. So whatever healthy looks like to you, or if you have a certain way of doing it, go for that. This is just my preference. And speaking of the people I watch, Khaki at Khaki Reviews Beauty, her thing is blush. Her merch is about blush. And she kind of taught me that it's okay to use 1, 2, 3 blushes to get to the intensity and that layering. She's an artist, and so she really does approach her face as a palette, and it's just so much fun to watch her and her makeup. She does a video every day, and it's about an hour long. She's been a part of my day for 5 years now. Okay, so I think we're good. I put it everywhere that the sun would naturally hit me, and I love the look. Not your thing, that's fine. It's my thing. I do it because for whatever reason, I think it looks so healthy. It looks like I've been out doing stuff and I just got a little too much sun, and you and I both know I didn't get any sun because I'm all about the sunscreen. I think we're done with the face. So that brings me to my first use of the Morphe setting spray. I'm almost out, but at this point, Once I do my blush, I spray it. But what happens is it starts to transform the look of my skin. It melts the makeup that is there. It melts the blush, it melts the powder, just everything, and it just makes it absorb and give this beautiful, I think, radiant looking finish on the skin. This is kind of the product that begins to pull everything together for me and makes it really look natural and radiant. Moving on to eyes. I do my eyebrows first. Some women don't do eyebrows at all. I was that woman for many years. They define my face, and to me, I think they lift the eye upward, which is important. For me, as an aging woman, I want people to look up. I don't want to enhance the look of my face being dragged down. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring my mirror over here. Many people used to do their brows on camera, and I loved watching. Because it's one of those things that takes a while, it can be boring to watch. So if you want to watch, I'm going to include it because this is part of my everyday makeup routine. If you want to speed through it, I'm going to put the timestamp here and you can just race through it. But do stick around because I'm going to show you how I use this face palette to kind of finish up everything, including my eyes. And I'm going to show you a trick that I think kind of brings the face and the eyes together. So stay tuned for that. Lately, I've been using the Anastasia Dip Brow and this brow brush. I have been using the Kosas brow pencil and I love it, but it ran out. So I have one on order and it's coming in because it's a very precise twist up pen that you can flick. Lately, this is the one I'm using. What I do, just a little drop of water in the pot, and then I will take this brush and I will just swirl it around in the pot. And then you get a good bit on your brush, and I use the lid to kind of get off the excess. I start, on the side of my nose, and I just put a mark going up, just like that. And I do that on both sides. Flick it in this direction, and I will just do very light stroke marks right there. And I do this part on both brows because that way they're the same. The product is not more dense on one side than it is on the other. And then if you want more product, you can just dip it into the lid again. And then I will come right under that area. And it feels just slightly wet. It's not dripping. It just feels damp. Same on the other side. And the same thing above. So what I'm doing now is I'm just outlining the shape of the bottom and the top. And now that I'm looking at my mirror, I can see that I need to do a little more blending of the blush and the bronzer. That is something that I can see when I look in the mirror, and I will do that when I come back in with my powder brush. So if you noticed it and you didn't think I did, I didn't, but now I do. And so I'll fix it. And I would fix it on a normal morning when I'm sitting right there with my mirror. Okay, so let's continue. So I will come across, following the top part of the brow. I hold it like this when I'm doing this part. So now that I've kind of gone above, I'll turn the brush this way so you can see I'm depositing more color in doing that. So that's one eye done. Same thing on this side, I will turn it this way. Turn it to this side, and I will use it to gently brush that product through a little bit and make the lines less harsh. The difference between the front of the brows and kind of having the feathery strokes and the outside of the brows where you want to look a little darker can be achieved in how you hold the brush. So that is the brows. One of the things that I like to do, I usually use the Fit Me concealer. It's very loose. It's not as gummy as this one. You have to be super careful with this IT concealer because it is so sticky if you just use the very smallest bit. So I did this, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to just gently give a little definition, and I like to do that right here, just very gently. And then also I can see that line is a little harsh right there. I do use a Patrick Ta eyebrow setting gel, but I've learned not to run that through the eyebrows, just to put a little bit on my hands and then just hold them over my eyebrows like this, because my eyebrows are not like they used to be. They kind of stand up. Like everything has to change, right? Nothing can be easy. It's one of those things where I don't know if my hair texture is changing. That's probably it. It's thinner, there's not as much there, and they just want to do what they want to do. And so I take the Patrick Ta gel and I just press it down a little bit, and it just gives a really nice finish, I think. So let's hop back in and let's finish these eyes. I'm going to use the Elephant palette. They always come out with these special palettes, and this is the one I chose for myself last year. And I love it because it has a mirror and it has all of the different things in it that I need if I want to grab one palette and go for the day, which is something that I needed. I don't want to throw a bunch of things in my bag when I'm running to work and I have an after work event for work. So what I did was I bought this with that in mind. One of the things I like about this, and here's an e.l.f. brush that I use, is even after I do my makeup, I learned this from Khaki at Khaki Reviews Beauty, she will go in with a cream a lot of times. Then she will come back in with a product like this. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'll get back to eyes in just a second. She will come in with something like this, and then she will use it on top of maybe her bronzer that she used to layer the product. And what this does is it not only gives your face dimension, these products, they're baked. They do last pretty well. I think they deliver well on color. They also have a beautiful little small sheen, not glitter, just a little bit of sheen to it. When I'm ready to blend, I can use this product to do that. And it also helps layer it. It kind of gives that setting effect as well. I will go in and I'm kind of going for this peachy blended look. So I'm just gonna do those together. And then I'm just gonna come right here again, right up by the eye. So you can really tell here the color payoff. You can see where I'm putting a lot on my cheeks and up here, but this is where I'm gonna start blending. All right, so now I'm going to start doing my eyes. I like to go in with this right here, and this is the trick I was hinting at, and I'm going to place it right here in the outer corner. One of the things that Khaki has taught me is if you use a product on your face and then you come back and you use that product again on your eyes, it does a wonderful job of bringing together your whole look in a very natural way. What she will often do, and what I'm going to do, thank you, Khaki, I'm going to use this product that I used on my cheek, and then I'm going to use the blush just very lightly on my eyes as well. And she does this, and like I said, she's got an artist's eye and an artist's mind, and she does a lot with color theory, which I really appreciate because I don't always see color the way other people see color. And I like that she kind of breaks it down, but she talks about how this really does pull everything together. It's very natural. It's not anything that's going to jump out at you. I just really appreciate it. I can see the difference when she does it, and I enjoyed it when I tried it. One of the things I do now that my eyes are older is I will start right up here, very close under the arch. And I will start by, just kind of patting the product there in that outer third. Same thing over here. And then I will start swirling it at the outside corner, and then I will take it in. If it's out here, if it's showing a big, difference, I can just fan that out. I'm gonna take the color that I put on my cheeks, and I'm just gonna lightly tap that in as well. I'm gonna come right here on the outer third and on this little part of my lid. I can just slightly build that up, but there you have it. That's that, and I take it all the way up to my brow. I don't know, I just think it looks really nice to come in and do that. Again, using concealer here, you can come in and using a very small brush, just gently put a little bit of that there, and then right under the brow, they call this carving the brow, but it doesn't have to be too severe. Just come right under it and stamp just a very small line. And what that can do is just give you a little bit of a highlight there, which I like. And then I come back in where I just put that, it's not wet, but it's not a dry formula. And I come in with a very tiny brush like that. I can use this highlighter in the palette and then just very gently put that highlighter right where I put a little bit of the wet product. The other thing I can do is I can take more of that product and just press it right in the center of the lid. It does give a little bit of highlight right in the center, which is very pretty. It's very minimal, and I like to do that right here on the inside corner too. By doing something like that in this area, it just gives a little bit of luminosity, a little bit of reflect. That's pretty much the eye look. Once that is done, I do take a very fluffy brush. I swirl it, just barely touching, and just kind of swirl it around to give a nice blend. And right here is where, when I smile and I have expression, you know, all of this area does tend to wrinkle up. So I want to be sure to blend that so that the color just doesn't sit in the creases. All right, real quick, mascara and then finishing touches. Stay with me. I need a new one of these, and I'm actually going to get the one that Stephanie Marie uses. Oh my gosh, how many people have I referenced here? She says that this part is a little wider. Again, credit to her, because that is the one I'm going to buy. I'm going to curl my lashes. This is another thing that not everybody does, and I don't think you have to. I do think it helps lift the eye, and so I enjoy doing it. I've been using the Grande Lash. I've decided that I'm going to try something new, and this is because of Kimberly at Pretty Over 50. She was using an eyelash conditioner as well, and she started using the e.l.f., and so I bought some. It looks like it's working on her. And if this e.l.f. eyelash serum is really good, if it works, oh my gosh, that would save us so much money. I just bought it and I'm going to start using it every night. So today is just October 1. Let's say by November 1, I'll check back and let you know. But one of the ways I can tell if eyelash serum is working, I can see how long the eyelashes are on the eyelash curler. Right now, they're just not very long. I actually already bought it, so I will keep you updated. This is the Voluminous Carbon Black. It's L'Oreal. So one of the things I like to do with mascara is, of course, start at the base and to work them out. But I like to also go this way and up. Same over here. I'll go this way and up and out. I think that gives my eyes more of a wide open look. So if you've seen my mascara videos, you've heard that before. But if not, I'm sharing that in case it's helpful. That's one eye done. Now I have to switch hands to do the other eye. It's the only thing I think I have to do that with. I'm not going to put anything on the lower lashes again. It's the weekend. Now, if I've got a special event, I will, and I'll do it very, very light. And again, I'll go out. I'll try and bring them out. So up and out and lower and out, just to kind of give a very wide open look to the eyes. I'm going to take a little bit of this Hydromaniac Urban Decay, and I'm just going to put that on my lips right now. It gives them a nice little color. And then for finishing touches, what I like to do, you're not going to believe this. Yep, I'm going to come in with a little bit more blush. This is the Charlotte Tilbury. This gives this interesting depth and glow. So instead of using a highlighter, I will sometimes use this. Sometimes I'll come in with a highlighter. When I want to look healthy and natural, I tend to do a bunch of different products that have different types of glow. This one has kind of a shimmer to it, but there's no fleck. There's nothing like that in this product. It just has a nice depth of color. There's something about the pigment that is really, I think, attractive. We are heading toward the finish line. I'm almost done, but here are the finishing touches, the final things that I do to have a skin-like natural finish. And I do love having kind of that natural look. It's not glam for sure. And I hope this helps share some of the things I do, because I do think it's super simple. I'm just being very chatty and you can go along pretty quickly. It's all about layering products, blending products, and then setting them throughout the process. So the last thing I'm gonna do is I am gonna come in with my Thrive Rosy. It's so light, and this is, I think, just beautiful. And it's really what I'm doing is I'm blending. I'm blending using a blush. And then one more time, I will come in with my e.l.f. powder. And I want to make sure that my eyes are not creased underneath, and make sure it's in the brush. And then I'm just going to press that, certainly press it right under my eyes. and just press it all over because I don't want to move the product that I just placed where I want it for the look that I want in the areas that I want it. Once that is done, I'm going to come in with my setting spray. I spray this until my face is wet because it's going to melt everything into my skin, and that's what I want. I'm almost ready. And it's drying so you can see what's happening. The other thing is, I don't know if you're like me, but it is very hard for me to manipulate my fingers and put on jewelry that does it in the back, that does the little clasp. So you might see I have this on almost every day. I really like it because it has a front clasp. So one of the things that I am doing for my birthday, I'm buying gifts for myself, and I set a budget, and that video is coming soon, and I guess I'm sharing a spoiler, but you won't get to see it until that video is out. So remember to subscribe and click the notifications so that you can be informed when that is posted. It's coming very soon. I'm just waiting for a couple of things to come in, and then I'll show you all of the things that I bought for myself for my birthday. But I will tell you this, one of them is another front closure necklace, and that's all you get to know. But I have been looking for another necklace that does this because I tend to wear this every day. I do wear this every day. And I love that it's light and it doesn't catch in my hair because of the clasp. So I just love it so much. And I wanted another, and I decided to treat myself. So I'm just gonna put a little bit more of this on my lips. It's not drying. It's absolutely wonderful. I think that's it. So for those of you who were interested in a makeup video, I know this was a long one, but I really don't get the chance to sit down with you and visit like this. So I hope it's something that you like. If you do like it, please, give it a thumbs up, let me know down below, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one.